Fake good one here, and eventually we will like, subscribe, share, comment, all that good stuff. Help promote and rank up my channel. I greatly appreciate all the views and stuff. I don't know how loved this show or watch this show is, The Falcon and Winter Soldier, but I do know I love to consume Marvel, DC Comics, video game content stuff that's made into live action. Really enjoy reviewing it, discussing it, talking about it. But so far, I've found The Falcon and the Winter Soldier to be an average at best show with big blockbuster movie budget action that enhances the experience. However, it has been pretty average, and the first two episodes have had brief moments that I feel are racially biased, racially motivated, vague accusations and insinuations only serving to pit people against each other based on race.
Deep down, you must know it's all hypocrisy.
I'm relieved to say I didn't get any of that out of this third episode. Still not completely sold on this show, but we've only got 3 more episodes left, and this episode covers a lot of ground. And I'm going to have a spoiler-free section to highlight all the positives that will let you know whether it's worth your time or not. It is a lengthy episode, and then I will have a spoiler section, and I'll warn you on that, where I'll regurgitate some of the details that will enrich the experience of viewing this. So the premise on this one, Bucky and Sam must team up with Baron Zemo, who is still in prison, for a globe-trotting undercover adventure to investigate the origins of the new super soldier formula responsible for the Flag Smashers. So let's go ahead and talk about it. So the positives on this one, it is rich with Marvel characters and references, deep dives, an action spy thriller that flows so smoothly. It's a very well paced episode that surprisingly covers a lot of ground this time around. The origins of the new super soldier formula, who made it, who has it, and what their intent is with it. Everybody's motives become as clear as day. Every character motivation and line of dialogue in this episode is handled with care to the point that it feels like it's all organic. Bucky getting Falcon on board with this Zemo prison breakout was handled smoothly. Where it did feel out of character, Zemo's actions and behavior are consistent throughout. This has so many callbacks to the Captain America movies that just helps point out how consistent and precise and organic this episode plays out. There's some quality to the humor in here, not in the sense that you're gonna laugh a lot, but in the sense that if you don't laugh, at least you're not cringing. And there's some pretty top-notch action in here from Bucky, Sharon Carter, and even Baron Zemo donning his iconic mask, and the tactical, subtle approach to the prison breakout was very interesting to watch unfold. With that said, though, let's go ahead and get into some of the spoilers. Spoilers, I'm just kind of gonna regurgitate some of the things with a little bit of detail. You've got moments in there like Bucky won't move his seat up, which is like a callback to Civil War.
Can you move your seat up?
No. You're not gonna move your seat up, are you?
No. Or when these guys always butting heads. There's a lot of that stuff in there from Civil War and even from Captain America, the Winter Soldier in here. Sharon Carter is back in a lot of action and suspicion that there's where her character ends at the episode. They've got a problem, and it seems like she's undercover, but for whom, can't say for sure. Maybe Sword, maybe Ross, maybe the Power Broker. Who really knows? And Zemo shows off his dance moves in this episode too. That's one of the things that one of the best things about this. You get this little brief moment of Zemo showing off his dance moves that can rival that of Tobey Maguire's in Spider-Man 3. Sam drinks some snake, like literally they cut open the snake and throw some organs in his drink, and he has to drink it. He has to remain undercover. That was an interesting moment. The power broker runs Magapur and Magipur, or however the hell you pronounce it. It's this famous location that's fictional in the Marvel Comics world that they brought to live action. It was interesting to see that happen. And with Zemo, of course, comes references to Wakanda, and even the appearance of a minor Wakandan, if that's how you say it, meeting with Bucky to bring Zemo to their version of justice. They'll probably give him some kind of time window in which he has to get this done and then hand over Zemo. We'll see how that goes. We get Zemo's legendary mask from that was awesome seeing him in action while wearing that mask. Carly of the Flag Smashers, I think her name is. She's not really memorable to me, so I'm just like, I don't find her all that interesting, but she does go a bit further. They've been trying to make you sympathize with her and stuff, because in this episode they even tried to do more of that, up and to the point where she goes too far, so much so that another Flag Smasher is unsettled by her actions. You've got Falcon foolishly name-dropping Isaiah Bradley in front of Zemo. That's probably going to have consequences, and knowledge that even though in this episode the lab and the man responsible for the new super soldier formula get destroyed, there's more out there. What does that mean? Does that have anything to do with how seemingly qualified John Walker seems to be, or him and his buddy Battlestar hunting for this super soldier formula because they want it themselves? Or have they already had a taste? Has John Walker already had a taste? You get these little brief moments with John Walker in which you can tell John Walker is on the verge of making this personal and throwing Steve Rogers' standards out the window. But you don't get really... you only get like 2 scenes with him in this episode. But I'm very curious to see where it goes now. And... a couple of the things, Bucky's book, it turns out to be the same book, the book that Bucky's written, has with names written down in it for people he needs to make amends with, or people that he needs to bring to justice. This is the same book that Captain America had, and that was interesting to discover. This is a hand-me-down, much like I feel like the Shield should have been a hand-me-down to Bucky. Bucky is willing to take the shield, and Sam just keeps going further and further away from it. In this episode, he expresses how he should have destroyed it, and Bucky's like, I'll take it. But there's a smiling tiger reference in here, the alias for Sam Wilson, that when they go undercover in Magipur, it's a minor character that I don't even remember from the comics. I had to Google it because it sounded familiar. And it turns out it's a minor Marvel Comics character, Smiling Tiger. So will that guy come into play at all? Will he actually be played by Sam Wilson because they look so much alike? And Magipur, getting that fictional location. There's also a Skull Island reference in here, which is really interesting because how relevant it is right now and how these two things conveniently ended up dropping around the same time when you consider all the delays that all this stuff has gone through both these things. It's insane that this reference is so relevant that both these things would drop at this point in time. It's bizarrely convenient. With that said, though, I can't say there's really too many negatives. I do kind of feel like Sharon Carter was a little bit overpowered. So when it comes to negatives, I do kind of feel like the Prison Break thing was a little too easy and kind of unrealistic as a result. I do question how Zemo is quick to be able to get access to all this stuff that he used to have. He's a rich man, and I do kind of, like I said, question how overpowered Sharon Carter kind of felt in these fight scenes, but there's not really many negatives in here. Some of the pacing could be a little better than it is, and it is a lengthy episode, but it covers so much ground that I was slightly impressed with it. I'd rate this one higher than the other episodes I've seen so far. I'd probably give it a 7 in comparison to the others that I would rate like a 6 or a 5, just because they're so average. I don't even know if I dropped a rating on those, but this one I would definitely rate higher than those, and I'm interested more so now than I was before to see where it goes. But I'm not completely like, this is the greatest thing ever. This has me just dazzled. This has me impressed. I do find it really impressive that the writer on this series just knows his Marvel. And I can't even think of his name right now. But the dude largely responsible for this series really knows his Marvel. I just hope that they can avoid all the racial politics and stuff like that as we move forward. I'm really interested in seeing John Walker become U.S. agent, like just fully embrace the U.S. agent identity, seeing where this goes. Your thoughts and opinions on Falcon and Winter Soldier Episode 3. Do you like it more as it goes along? Do you like it less as it goes along? Have you enjoyed it so far? Have you not really enjoyed it? Where do you think it's going? Speculate all your theories and stuff in the comments section below. I'd be really interested in seeing them, hearing them, replying back to them. Be a good one here. Eventually we will. Stay awesome. Rock on.